Hello, in this video, we will be discussing about tasks in Google Tag Manager. And also we will be discussing in detail about a very special task that we call as custom task. So in analytics, we have a lot of tasks and there are a lot of them. Now, these can be for accomplishing various jobs that we want to do onto our website or to do various activities on our website. And there is a list of them that we can use. Definitely, we'll be using it on our tracker object or on similar places. So if I talk about now, the first task is custom task, and the description is by default this task does nothing, but it overrides to provide custom behavior. Next, we have preview task. So what it does is it aborts the request if the page is only being rendered to generate a top sites thumbnail like for Safari. And then there is a check protocol task. So if you are using a protocol that is not HTTP or HTTPS, then it aborts the page protocol if it is not there. So check protocol task is used for the same. And then it is validation task. It is for it aborts the request if required fields are missing or they are invalid. And check storage task, it aborts the request if the tracker is configured to use cookies, but the user's browser has cookies disabled. That means in the, like supposedly I'm using Edge right now, and in that I go to my inspect into the browser settings, and then there I disable all the cookies. Then for that we can check that thing using check storage task. Then we have history import task. It imports information from ga.js and Urchin.js cookies to preserve visitor history. Whatever links we visit onto our session, it gets stored into an history object, and we can import that same. So next we talk about sampler task. So this samples out visitors based on sample rate setting from this tracker. And then we have build hit task. It builds a measurement protocol request string and stores it in the hit payload field. There's a fit. We will be using this field in the later part of this video, and you will just come to know what exactly it is. Then there is send hit task. It transmits the measurement protocol request stored in the hit payload field to Google Analytics servers. So again, that hit payload field, whatever the value is set, it will be sent to the Google Analytics servers. Then there is timing task and display features task. You can just read about them. So in particular, if I talk about tasks, then they can be used as an advanced feature of analytics, and we can use them for our own benefit here. So what I'll be doing is I'll be using them on my own website. So first we'll try to demo the normal tasks, and then we will try to focus more in detail on our custom task. So first thing first, what we'll be doing here is I will be creating a tracker object here. On that, we will be performing everything. So I'm not naming anything here because in particular, we don't want to name anything. By default, a name will be provided to this tracker object, and that will be fine. We don't actually need to access this tracker object ever. So I have created this, and you can see there are similar return statements directly to me. That means okay, the tracker is being created now. Now, after I have created the tracker object, I can use certain tasks that are available to us, and we can also use certain functions of the GA object. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to use the check protocol task that was here from this list that checks whether the aborts the request if the page protocol is not HTTP or HTTPS. If there is some other SMTP protocol or FTP protocol, then it will abort the request page load. So to set it, I have already wrote the code for this thing. So I'll just set that thing here. I think, let me check this code once. Yeah. So this is the code for check protocol task. And you can see I have used set I've used set command, and then after that check protocol task is a value that I have passed here in the GA tracker. And then I have also used a function where I have logged console.log check protocol task. That this gives us the clarification that okay, the this task has been called and the page has been checked with the protocol. So I'll just run it, and the it will be sent to the Google Analytics command. It will be executed. And after that, for demo, I'll be choosing check storage task for this one. Now, as we know, check storage task checks whether the browser has cookies enabled in it or not. So I'll be using my suggestions because I have already created this in the past. So for check storage task, yeah, let me check this out if it's the correct one. Yeah, it's the correct one. So what we are going to do here, we are going to do something similar. We are passing a command called set, and then check storage task will be passed separated by comma operator, and then a function will be passed that is simply logging onto the console the check storage task value, or the string that is being logged here. And then I'll hit enter here. So again, the command is executed. So I have right now executed two tasks that are now attached to the tracker object, and it will run when I'll be using this website. And also, if I try to add another task here, that will be send hit task. We read about this here. So send hit task is it transmit the measurement protocol request stored in the hit payload. So if I do the thing here, yeah, we'll just load the code here. Let me check this code if it's the correct one. Yeah, so this is the correct one. And just mark one thing: the payload in this hit payload, the L will be small. I made a mistake in the past, so I'll just correct it right now. And what I'll be doing, I'll be hitting enter on the same. Now we have three tasks that are up, and if you ever want to check them whether they are running properly or not, then you can simple make a send request of page view you in the GA in the parameters of the GA. Then if I just hit this, you'll see there are three things that are returned to us. Number one is the check protocol task. Okay, that means this task got called and it has run successfully. Then the second one was the check storage task. You can see we are also getting onto the console the log that we did. And also for the third one, where we were checking the cookies of the client, we are able to see that okay, the GA cookie is enabled, and no disabling is done onto the client side. So like this, we have used certain tasks that are available here in this website. Now what we are going to do is we are going to focus on creating a custom task for this purpose. So I'll just refresh this just to be sure that everything is its own place. So after the refresh, I'll be again creating a tracker object here, and that will be same as what I did. I will be just passing the same name. So create UA12345-1. It's a demo name. And for the code of the custom task, I've also written that. Now for creating a custom task, what you actually need to do here is you'll have to create a function, and in that I'm trying to set a dimension called dimension5. You can see here, and I'm trying to get the client ID from the browser. That means this tracker object will contain certain client ID, and that will be the ID that is assigned by GA, and I want to access it and store it somewhere in dimension5. So basically this is not offered by GA, and this is one of the custom tasks that I have built. That means that's not offered initially as in a built-in form, and I have created this. So it comes under the category of custom task. So if I run this, and now if I run the page view command, what you'll notice that I can, if I show you this entire log that you see is from the custom task only. And if I show you the dimension 5 value, you can see I am getting the client ID from the background. So we have successfully implemented custom task here. And this is the most basic form of a custom task. We are actually using the GA command for this, and we are also using the tracker object to initiate this custom task. Now to go in a bit more detail, what we will be doing here, what we will be going to our Google Tag Manager, and here we'll have to create a variable. Now I have created the variable, and I'll just show you. So if I show you this variable, its name is custom task, and this is just the date that I have followed just to make sure that it is easily available for me. So it is custom task variable, and then inside the function we have written a very detailed function here, and that is a custom task. Now initially we were writing this custom task onto our console, but now we have shifted to Google Tag Manager, and it also gives us a very good space to write code here. And for variable configuration, you should choose custom JavaScript. Just keep that in mind. And for the code part, you can just copy this. I'll explain you this what it exactly is doing. So this function is returning another function, and that gets custom task model as a parameter. So now initially what it's doing is it's creating a variable called original send hit task, and in the custom task model, it's trying to get the send hit task value, and it gets stored in the original task send hit task. Original send hit task will contain the value. Now after all these two lines will be executed, what's going to happen is we will try to access the hit payload value. Now hit payload value will be this initially. I know that the hit payload will be this because it contains the container ID. And what I want to do is I want to replace this ID with this. So we have, in a way, we have modified the hit payload value. And after that, I am just appending that hit payload value into the initial object and sending it back to the main calling function. So if I sum this entire function in a single line, then it will be, we are just trying to affect the hit payload value. We are trying to replace it with the latter part. And that's why, since it is not available to us, we call it as a custom task. Now, if I just close it, what we will be doing is we will be just going to the UA tag that we have created here. And in the UA tag will be the Universal Analytics configuration tag. You might have also created the same for configuring Universal Analytics. What we will be doing here is, we will be, first of all, most important part is to enable overriding of the settings in the tag so that our values can be overwritten, and we will pass on the tracking ID. Now, this is the tracking ID that I want to actually replace. So this is UA12345 and -1 I am using here. And also to note here, in the more settings section, when you will expand this, you will get fields to set. Now in this field to set, add a field and add a field name called custom task. You can use your own mnemonics for this. And custom task value will be the custom task variable that we just now created, that was containing that function. So what exactly it's doing, it's getting that value initially in the hit payload, and it's replacing it with the UA12345 2 and not 1. So we have configured the UA tag also. Just two settings here. One, we will be enabling this, and tracking ID has to be pasted here. Also, the custom task variable needs to be set, and your work here will be done. After that, when you have done these changes, there is another slight change that you need to do here. So if I go to the variable section and if I check the um, custom task 2010 variable, then this function you just need to check the variable that replacement is happening in the correct order or not, so that everything is in place. And once you do that, you can just simply preview this. So I'll just preview it again so that all of my changes are loaded. I'll hit continue here. And if I go to, we don't need it, so we just expand it. So basically, what was the change that we actually did there? We have used, initially we were using 12345-1 as an ID. So you can see in the network section, we are getting certain payload that happened because of a page view event. And if I just scroll down, what you will notice here, the TA ID is 123451 here. Initially, it was this before the custom task got executed. But if I show you the later part, then what you'll notice is in the later part of the while after the custom task got executed, the TID got changed to 12345-2. That means our custom task has executed successfully. And you can also see that in the container loaded, our UA tag got fired, and it successfully got fired, and with all the changes that we did there. You can also check the variable section. It will hold a function here. And yeah, so basically what you need to check here is you'll just navigate to your network section and you can just search using this filter here. Now, this is the custom task that I have created to changing the container IDs. But I also want to expand it further. Now, let me introduce you to this website created by Simo Ahava. And this is a very useful tool if you are working with the custom task. You don't need to actually type the entire code that I did there and I was explaining you there. What you can do is you can just simply use this tool. Click here to jump directly to the tool, and there are certain lists that you have. Now these are clickable. I have used one to hit type as custom dimension, payload length as custom dimension, copy it to multiple properties, and the most important point, remove PII from hits. That means the personal identifier information of a user. I want to remove it from hits. I do not want to pass that information to Google Analytics because it can have severe consequences on our website. So after you'll select these, you can navigate down, and here there's an option copy to clipboard for GTM. You just simply copy this, click on this button, and it will be copied. Navigate back to your Google Tag Manager, and since as we all know that for creating a custom task, we'll have to create a JavaScript variable. So we'll hit a new button here and create a JavaScript variable, custom JavaScript, and I've already done it, so I'll show you that. So what I did, I chose the variable type as custom JavaScript, and whatever was in my clipboard after using this website, I pasted exactly everything here. And after pasting that here, I am giving some random values as well, just to make sure that my code is running. So for hip type index, I'm giving 999, 997, and for duplicate hit to tracking IDs, I am passing, initially it was only one, but I am saying just include 2 and 3 as well in this array for hit to tracking IDs. And for the PII that I mentioned here, it was for personal identifier information. I want to exclude supposedly email here, or in this code, there is a script that is running here to exclude email. Now, this is a regex that knows exactly that, okay, the passed URL contains an email there. So I want to reduce it. I do not want to send it back to Google Analytics and get blocked. So I'm using this. Now you'll just simply give it a name. It's that simple. You'll just have to name it and make these changes. And after you have made these changes, what you'll have to do is you'll have to do one more slight change, and that will be into the variable that you made for the GAS UA variable. This is called Google Analytics setting for Universal Analytics. And in this, first of all, you'll have to add a field here. Okay, so for adding this field, you'll have to pass on a name, and I am saying this is the demo for custom task, so I'm simply passing custom task here. And for its value, we know we created a variable that was from the website, that was the CJ custom task builder 2010. So I'll just select this. Now we are doing nothing, we are just trying to integrate that variable into the Google Analytics setting variable. So after this, you don't have to do anything here. You will just save it here. And once you save it, a slight change also that you need to do in the UA tag. So head to the UA tag that you created. Now we are doing this because now we do not want our values to be overwritten. Now what you'll do is head to your UA. And as you remember, initially we ticked this to be enabled, but now I'm saying that, okay, do not enable this. I'm just disabling this, and then I'll be saving the same. So now my work is done, and I have created a custom task using this custom task builder. Also, I have integrated the same into my GTM and into other places. That means the UA or the other values. So what we'll be doing here is we will be reloading the container, and we don't have much to do here. What we'll be doing here, we will be going to first we'll be just playing around with the URL. So if I talk about if a developer or if a user accidentally inputs something and developer has passed it onto the URL as a parameter, that's the practice that most of the websites have. So if it is email equal to it is supposedly xyz123@gmail.com. So this is the value that a user has mistakenly passed to the URL. And if we hit enter, now remember this thing, in the custom task we have implemented this thing that we do not want to pass on the personal identifier information as to our GAA, so that we do not face the consequences. And for the same thing, we have also tried to implement that it gets reduced. So what the tag manager will be doing here is, because this custom task is running here, the email that you sent here won't be actually recorded here, and it also won't be sent to the Universal Analytics. And this thing will simply result in that the personal identifier information of a user is not tracked, and it is 100% secure because we are not tracking the same. So in this custom task, I have used the same. Now there can be other type of custom tags that you can refer to this website, and I'll just highly recommend to use this tool, so that the making of the custom task gets a lot of easier. So that's all about custom tasks and tasks. And thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.